Hey YouTube, CountryBoyPrepper here. We had a good rain last night and thought I'd come out here to my favorite shooting range for picking up brass and lead bullets and collect a little bit of brass out here and some bullets for melting down and casting into new bullets. I'm out here real early, got the place all to myself. Everything's nice and wet and makes it real easy to pick out the bullets because the dirt's washed away and everything. So anyway, I haven't made any YouTube videos in about 5 or 6 weeks. Been away for a while and I want to get back into it. I got several things I want to do, several things in the works, and I wanted to take a minute and explain a little bit about why I've been away and what's been going on, and just talk about some things real quick. I think it was October 13th, a very close friend of mine, and a very close friend of my wife's, actually, my wife's best friend, passed away very unexpectedly and suddenly. She was 8.5 months pregnant and the baby died along with her, and she was my best friend's wife, and she was also my wife's best friend, believe it or not. All of us have been very, very close friends since we were pre-teens, I believe. I think I was about 12 or 11, maybe, I don't know, when we first met. My wife was young as well when she met her, but anyway, so that happened. My best friend is also a really big time prepper, probably even bigger than me, really. He's into it pretty heavy, and they had 5 kids. She was pregnant with her 6th. I have 5 kids also myself, and so it was quite a shock for everybody, and it was a rough experience for him and his family, and for my wife and myself also. So anyway, that's kind of why I've been away, but I wanted to jump back into it and keep making videos, obviously. And I tell you, when something like that happens, it really puts things into perspective real quick. Makes things crystal clear when something tragic like that happens. Really puts your priorities in order in a hurry. At least it did for me, a lot, and had a lot of time to think about stuff. So kind of what I wanted to do, getting back into my YouTube videos, is I wanted to go over what I think are the top 5 most important preps, top 5 most essential preps, the most important things that you've got to have squared away, that are more important than anything else. And this is just something I came up with. Maybe you disagree, maybe you don't, but based on my recent experience and the perspective it's given me, this is how I feel at this point. So here it is. Number 1 prep, absolute number 1 prep, and these are in priority order. 1 is the most important, 2 second most important, so on and so forth. Anyway, number 1, your relationship with Jesus Christ, your prep for eternity. If you haven't got your peace made with God, if you haven't accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, nothing else matters. Period. End of story. If you want to disagree, that's fine. That's how I feel. Everybody's going to die, and everybody's going to spend eternity somewhere, and you better have that squared away. Nothing else is more important than that. Number 2, friends and family, relationships. These days, more and more in our society, people are more disconnected. They are they don't stay in one place for their whole life, and there's nothing wrong with moving around. But me personally, I was born here in Alabama. I've lived here my whole life. I've lived in this county over 25 years. I've been a member of the same church for over close to 25 years. I don't know exactly, 23 I think, something like that. I've got friends I've known for decades. I've got dozens and dozens of friends that I can knock on their door day or night, 24/7, anytime, call them anytime and they would be there for me. Dozens of friends like that. How many people do you know like that? How many people do you see on a weekly basis that you've seen on a weekly basis and had fellowship on a weekly basis for more than 20 years? How many people can you say that about? That's more and more rare these days, I think. I don't know, it's just modern times or whatever you want to call it, but you know, friends and family and having those types of relationships, people you can trust, is priceless. And when you lose someone like that you've been friends with since you were a kid, it really makes you realize that how precious those relationships are and how valuable they are, and you don't need to take them for granted, and you need to consciously make an effort to build them. People these days seem to be apt to just walk around with a chip on their shoulder and get offended over stupid stuff, and you know, just hold grudges and get bitter, and it's just not worth it, you know. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and preach. That's number 2. Number 3, skills and knowledge. Learn something. Learn how to do CPR. Learn some basic skills on all sorts of different things. Knowledge is way more important than gadgets. And that goes for a wide variety of things, from first aid to bushcraft to preparing food and storing food to procuring water and storing water, all sorts of things. Knowledge and skills. And a lot of that with YouTube these days, you can get a lot of that for free. It doesn't cost you a dime if you got internet and YouTube. I mean, you can learn an absolute ton doing that, and I've done that a lot. Turn your doggone TV off. You'll learn a lot more from YouTube and enjoy it just as much. That's what I've done. My friend, when his wife passed away, he was able to do CPR on her for about 20 minutes until the ambulance got there. I know it would have sucked if he hadn't been able to done if he hadn't been able to do everything possible to save her. It would have been bad. You know, it's a CPR is just a basic thing. Everybody should know that. It's very simple, and you need to keep up on it because they've changed it over the years. It's not the same as it was 15 years ago. But learn how to do CPR. It could save someone's life, and if it doesn't, at least you'll know you did everything you could. Number 4, financial preps. Get your finances in order. Get out of debt. Cut them credit cards up. Quit spending your money on stupid stuff. People these days, man, they spend their money on stupid stuff. I used to do it. That's what got me into prepping. I used to spend my money on the stupidest crap all the time. Spent money I didn't have. Lived outside of my means. I still struggle with it. I struggle with it even in prepping because I want to buy things for prepping and I can't afford them. But get your finances in order. Get out of debt. Cut your credit cards up. Tune in to Dave Ramsey. That's a good place to start. Getting out of debt will free you up to do a whole host of other things. If you're up to your eyeballs in debt and can't make your bills, you got no business prepping. You got to get that squared away first. And once you do, you'll gain a freedom that you know you never would otherwise. Me and my wife have 5 kids and 1 income, plus a little bit from YouTube, not much. But I mean, she makes a little bit on the side as well, doing odd things. But it's a struggle, you know, living on 1 income with 5 kids. But we do it, and we're pretty much debt-free. Not totally, but almost debt-free. We've been in and out of completely debt-free a couple times. But that's kind of what got me into prepping initially, was I kind of hit rock bottom financially at one point several years ago, and when I hit that, that's what kind of got me into prepping. We went through an SHTF situation financially. I was unemployed for several months, lost my business, and a lot of things happened, and we we had to dig our way out of that. So number 4 is financial preps. Get your finances in order. Number 5 is your typical preps, your bullets, beans and bandages, all the other stuff that everyone talks about, their bug out bags and their get home bags and their bullets and guns and ammo and first aid and all that other stuff. That's number 5. All that stuff comes last. All that stuff is the least important. If you haven't got the first 4 squared away, you're wasting your time with number 5. But it is important as well. But I lump all that stuff in together as number 5. All the other stuff, and it's important too. Don't get me wrong, but you're wasting your time with that if you haven't got the first 4 squared away. So anyway, I'm not trying to preach at nobody. I just thought I would share that real quick while I was out here. It's nice and peaceful and quiet. It's real early in the morning. Sun's coming up. I'm gonna pick up some brass and some lead out here and maybe do a little bit of shooting with Veronica. And anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. I'm gonna be making videos again, getting back into it. And think about what I said and leave a comment below. Hit the thumbs up button. Appreciate you guys watching. Y'all have a great day.